Hello, everyone. You are currently missing my little new avatar that I've been using as of recent. But that's also because I am joined by someone who is refusing to play along. Hello.
Hey, what is two thumbs and is currently heavily medicated?
You're not heavily medicated.
Well, have more heavily than I expected.
It's... So... I don't... You get...
Right out the gate.
You can go ahead and explain whatever you want, I suppose, but you're not that heavily medicated, but you did actually end up getting more sleep than you anticipated.
Anti-nausea meds hit different, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between.
Hello, Dar. Hello, Skeeto. This guy who is located in Europe. I see.
Oh, yeah.
Also, my thing is looking a little bare at the moment. I don't have any of the widgets that I had over on Twitch. I'm gonna have to try.
Now, see, that's the surprise. We're actually reacting to the movie Blue.
Shut. I was gonna say see if I can spiff it up at some point, but for now, at the very least, nice blue gradient. Also, I hope you're enjoying the this new
That's a good word for it.
Yeah, this new screen thing. Trying to do a little bit more of the professional thing. I'm slowly building things up. I'm hoping to eventually have the likes of like a VTuber model, but obviously that's going to take time/money.
It's almost as if you have years of experience with content creation.
No, I don't. I'll find a way to donate so I can start the donation wars. After a whole year, I returned to the chat, and I love that new avatar. Thank you.
Skeeto really just came in here saying, I will now cause problems on purpose.
I don't see it as a problem.
He literally declared war on the first person who's willing to step into the spotlight.
Yeah, but there's no way to actually track this, you know? 'Tis unfortunate.
It's good to have you back, Skeeto.
Yeah. Let's see. Now live on your channel. Let's see. Did it go to junk? Just to make sure. I'm checking.
Skeeto remembers money exists. God has let me live another day, and I'm about to make it everyone's problem.
I love. I'm checking. I'm gonna be closing my mail in just a second, but like, you know, my weekends are perfect to visit my match and start a really great shag. I know that they don't know me if that's their proposition.
Listen, a quality carpet can take you a long way. Especially considering how stained ours have been as of late.
Sheesh! Just because you've been sick all over the place.
Listen.
Hi, Larks!
Once again...
It's actually been a while since we've actually streamed on YouTube. Yeah. We've been... I have been primarily doing it over on Twitch as of recent. And that was because I wasn't entirely sure that I agreed with the policies on YouTube. However, after the recent developments over on Twitch, I'm like, you know what?
Lesser of two evils.
Lesser of two evils. I don't exactly have YouTube monetized at this point. Unfortunately, I did lose that recently. Supposedly, that kind of happens when you don't upload for like a year.
Yeah, funny that.
Weird how that works. However, maybe if I'm doing this regularly over here, I can bring that back up. Because they require about 4,000 watch hours in a year in order to maintain monetization. Sorry, you were going to say?
I was just going to say, you know what they say, it's better to have loved and lost. At least you've had monetization.
True, but, and I'm relatively, reasonably close to being able to get it back. I just need to get more watch hours, which means more uploads, which means probably more streamings. Hello, Nicholas. Gremlins of Lore Assembly. Yes, my minions, approach!
Avengers! Assemble.
See, I go with minions and you're Avengers. Yeah. Says something interesting, doesn't it?
I mean, listen, if you want to keep, promoting those those yellow jelly beans, you go right ahead. More power to you.
I hate you. A year?
You're right. A year is an awful amount of time to pass.
Yeah, YouTube is... Yeah, it's been a year since I was... I think... I don't know exactly when it was.
Since I said I'm sorry.
Hi, Jared. One of my friends actually had a giant minion outside of her office. She works at Universal. I mean, that at least makes sense.
Marked for death.
We are the minions of lore. We shall bow down to the milady. Never refer to me as milady.
Especially the milady.
The term has been tainted.
Okay, Skeeto, I'm gonna need you to turn in your fedora. Please.
No! Hey, do not insult the man. After he went out of his way once to surpass the $500 donation limit.
I know.
On YouTube by going to a second channel.
I'm just saying he's treading dangerous ground here. I know he's used to that, but all the same.
I'm sure that it was meant as like,
It's all in good fun.
Yeah. Hey, Ragnar. Wow. I currently have more concurrent streamers than I've had on Twitch.
All the warriors are here tonight.
I think this is a good fucking sign. Hopefully for some good fucking content. Alright, I'm not going to steal from the grumps. It's almost midnight, so English is not so great.
Why not? Everyone else has.
As we all know, English stops functioning after midnight.
Yeah, I mean, it really do. I mean, it stopped functioning a few hundred years ago.
Now that's not true. It's just been evolving.
Is that what we're calling it now? LOL XD?
Yay! Content! I currently have a cat on the back of my chair, an asshole in the chair next to me, a loaf somewhere, and a croissant over behind us.
Yeah. She comfy.
She makes everything look comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Zelda. All the XD.
Yeah.
Hey, sweetie. Hi, Garrus.
Have you any choice words for the audience, Garrus? I guess one sniff was enough.
He just slammed his face down into the back of the chair.
Yeah, for context, Garrus is one of those interesting cats where if you so much as sniff around him, it'll drive him into a psychedelic craze. Even now, he threatens to roll off of the chair and break his spine. And she seems intent on filing an insurance claim off of that because she's still doing it.
I had a red panda plushie who is about to help me make dinner because I'm totally an adult. Hey. P. Psychedelic craze from sniffing something, alright.
Yeah, listen, the way I like to phrase it, there's only really two differences between adulthood and childhood. Taxes and height. And the latter doesn't even necessarily apply to everyone.
Looks at our friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
A good chunk of them even. Including Justin! I didn't know he was that short!
Are we really fucking calling him out on Twitter.com like this?
Yes! I did not know. I mean, he told himself on Twitter.com. So, yeah, no, a friend of ours by the name of Justin.
Skeleton 08. Brilliant lad.
See, you outed him more than I did. Terrific voice actor. Apparently is quite short. Actually shorter than our friend Gab.
Uh-huh.
Actually about the height of our friend Chi-Chi.
Mm-hmm. God, is he really that? Because, damn.
He's 5'1".
Damn. Because, like, she's, like, 4'11".
So, still taller than her, but...
Yeah. And then, like, we're going for everyone. On the off chance you hear this, Gabe, I'm looking at you, too. It's for the shorties.
I did actually join a stream of his recently.
Yeah. You go subscribe to Hunchun Bats, by the way.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
So,
any other languages we can think of? Who's
Sir Pounce?
Sir Pounce is the OG Lorelei Kitty.
Well, okay. This is multiple layers. Sir Pounce-a-Lot is, first of all, named in I think, Game of Thrones or something like that, which was then referenced in Dragon Age Origins, particularly Awakening, when you give a cat to a companion.
Hey, speak of the devil.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
And then me, when I got a cat back in 2011, he is 11 years old now.
Hey, Sir Pounce. Like, this is the part where everyone cheers in the sitcom. Hey, big boy.
He is being a big baby, and he has come in here.
He's coming up on your right.
Yeah, he's coming up on the right. He knows we're talking mad shit. I just watched, like, a video not that long ago of a woman in an Uber who has been told to leave the vehicle, and she's like, no, you're being mad disrespectful right now. You're being so mad disrespectful. I'm gonna call the police. Yes, hello, police? Yeah, I'm in an Uber, and the driver's being mad disrespectful right now.
I'm gonna take a chance here, stab in the dark, say this woman was white.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
How dare you, sir? He's the star of the show. You don't know Sir Pounce?
He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. Meanwhile, Garrus is just fucking deflated.
Well, he's like gripping on the side of the chair.
He has no chill.
It's impossible.
And neither does this motherfucker scratching the door frame to my room.
Hey, Sir Pounce? Is that necessary?
This is making him more determined, the little shit.
Sir! Sir? Oh, he's gonna try and get in now.
There's no chicken in there.
He wants to nest.
I'm not sure if you at home heard that, but he just leapt for the door handle.
He does know how to open it.
Yes, door handle, which is like a door handle, except not.
Darn handle.
Handle.
So, I'm glad to be getting back into it. I'm hoping to be streaming more often as well, and I think that YouTube is, once again, going to still be my best bet. Whether or not it's with me, or with my roommate.
Or with the other 3 roommates.
Sir Pounce, why?
He's just collapsed and given up, leggy twitching in the air.
He jumped, he kind of slid down the door frame and then rolled
And
onto
now
his
he's
side.
sulking away. Fucking like a champion.
Dorn handle for when you need to manipulate Lieutenant Commander Worf.
Dorn handle. Apply directly to the Dorn head. That sounded dirtier than I expected.
Dirtier. Did you... Okay. Anyway.
We have fun.
Oh my god. Look at this fuck.
I
Okay.
can't. He's facing the void.
So...
Anyway, weren't we here to play video games?
We pipe possibly were.
Yeah.
Um...
Let's pipe this bitch. Respect the pipe.
So today, we are going to be playing the Excavation of Hob's Barrow. As if you couldn't tell from the name of the stream, and you wouldn't be able to tell afterward the fact and everything, or the fact that I advertised it as the fact that we're playing the Excavation of Hob's Barrow, I'm going to be playing the game The Excavation of Hob's Barrow today.
That
It's
also
actually...
sounds dirty.
It actually is a recent release by Wajidai Games. And I've played some of their games in the past, most notoriously the Blackwell Legacy and that series of games. Cue the donations of the 27 multiple accounts. This is Sir Pounce's content channel. I mean, you know.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Garrus is also best cat. And also best Turian. Hands down. But yes, so here's the thing. It's Spookmas. It's Spookmas month.
Yeah.
And I just realized why this isn't showing some of these things. And it's because I have this...
Listen, layers are hard. Especially depending on the type of lasagna.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing I did that, otherwise it was going to be... Hey, Stratus!
Hey!
It's been quite a while since we've seen you in these parts.
Been a hot minute.
Anyway,
it's the spooky month!
and this game is a point-and-click game. It is tagged with Lovecraftian horror. It is supposed to be a horror game. It's point-and-click horror, which you're probably somewhat familiar with. However, from what I've seen, this thing is getting raving reviews from everyone that plays it. So, I haven't seen anything other than the title screen to this.
And keep in mind, the last time we played point-and-click horror on this channel was Phantasmagoria.
Which was a year ago.
And that was, well, suffice it to say, technology has been updated since then.
Yeah, although I will say that this is... You can tell that these were people who were fans of the original point-and-click adventure games. Most notably, probably the LucasArts or the Sierra games of back in the day. Probably
God
far
knows
more
why.
LucasArts.
Yeah, I was gonna say. No offense to Sierra, but fuck Sierra.
Why?
Because you need a roadmap to figure out what the fuck to do is why.
Not really. You can generally figure things out. It's just occasionally has its notorious difficulty spikes. And thank you, Stratus. We are indeed doing well. Yes. I'm more of a Sierra fan, but yeah, I'm Sierra. I'm a Sierra girl, so fuck you. That's a quote. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into this, because I'm very curious to see what this game actually entails.
God. Play the Excavation of Hob's Barrow. I don't have my glasses, so I... Oh my god, that loading graphic. Yeah, they definitely knew what they were doing. Okay, I just realized the brilliance of that musical sting there, making it sound like a train whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well done out the gate.
I'm going to let this sit for a second, because while I was setting this up, something interesting happened earlier. That yodeling when I get out of bed.
I mean, that's a mood.
Yeah, that happened. And that jump scared me while I was trying to set up the game, and I was like, why? Oh, okay.
Well, again, psychological horror.
Yeah, but when you're getting a jump scare on the fucking menu screen, you know?
I mean, 21st century horror games do be like...
So you guys have officially seen pretty much everything that I have seen of this outside of some of the preview images and GIFs and stuff like that related to that. Anyway... We're gonna start a new game. I don't know what I'm doing. It's been a while since I've done a point-and-click game. Excuse me, I was talking!
And of course this is when Pounce decides to give my door another shot.
Okay.
He's doing the classic, like, madly paw at the hinge. Alright. Oh, well, right out the gate.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like someone needs a lozenge.
Alright, all I can do apparently is...
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Oh.
Hi, Jeeves.
Ah, Miss Bateman. Welcome back to Ticehurst House. It's been quite some time.
Hello, Pounce. It's also been quite some time since we saw you.
Terrible weather this evening, is it not? Nurse Blaketon has had enough of me smoking inside. Makes her cough, you see. A bit of rain will kill me, will it?
I mean, it might if you catch a cold.
Mm-hmm. You mustn't be interested in me nattering on. Give my regards to your father. Nurse Blaketon is preparing his supper.
I mute you, insensitive fuck.
Am I...
You'll catch your death out here.
Can I not move? What?
Just establishing that your character is a stone cold bitch, I guess.
I couldn't click on anything.
Yeah.
Dearest Mother, I hope this letter will reach you.
I swear I'm British.
Actually, it sounded pretty authentic to me.
I have spent these past years in torment, trying to piece together what remains of fractured memories. What I am about to recount to you will seem beyond comprehension, but I beg for your patience.
16-bit lore, is that you?
I mean...
Kind of. Excuse me, sir!
Yeah, Sir Pounce is very insistent right now.
Sir, I love you. I love you, my baby.
And of course, the moment he gets what he wants, he turns into a fucking pigeon. If any of you are hearing this purring... Garrus, don't you get jealous. Baby purr.
Come on.
Alright. Big boy, come on. Apparently I'm not good enough.
Alright, sorry.
I will endeavour to explain the events that led me to Ticehurst House that night. As far as I can recall, this whole wretched story started with the receipt of a letter from a Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Left or right?
The letter brought me to the isolated village of Bewley, deep in the moors.
Achievement unlocked.
No station master in sight. I
That's
hope
the
the village
achievement.
isn't too far away. I can't recall our exact meeting place. Mr. Shoulder mentioned it in his letter.
Left click to walk and direct, right click to examine. To access the inventory and menu, move your mouse cursor to the top of the screen, so very classic, especially like Sierra. Left click on an inventory item to select it, right click to examine it. Once an inventory item is selected, you can right click it to deselect it. You can double click on an exit to teleport directly to it. The game will occasionally autosave. You can also save any time via the menu. Keyboard shortcuts. Escape menu. I might have ended up actually skipping a cutscene in the beginning. Spacebar, hold, quick save, quick load, map when available. I feel like I ended up accidentally skipping the intro because I did hit escape at one point. I feel like I missed something.
Well,
So-
either way, we're here now.
I'm gonna go...
Are we really going to start over?
I can cut through a good chunk of this, I think.
Alright.
If I missed something, I just want to make sure that I didn't miss, because this field... Yeah,
It's also a point-and-click horror game. They rarely give you context in the beginning.
Well, I want to be sure.
Okay.
So Cloak and Dagger Games were the actual producer of the game, Wajidai were the publishers, as my understanding. Okay, so let's try.
In the oddest sense of deja vu.
I do appreciate that they give us this stretch to help build a little bit of the ambiance here. So you notice that my cursor vanished.
Ah, Miss Bateman.
I just want to be sure that I
Welcome
didn't
back
end
to
up skipping
Ticehurst
something by
House.
accident, okay?
It's been quite some time. Terrible weather this evening, is it not?
Why are we
Nurse
staring
Blaketon
blankly?
has had enough of me smoking inside. Makes her cough, you see.
Garrus, no.
Bit of rain won't kill me, will it?
It might.
You see, it was me who
You
set up
mustn't
the
be
killing
interested in
school
me
game.
nattering on. Give my regards to your father. Nurse Blaketon is preparing his supper. You look pale, Miss Bateman. Do head inside. You'll catch your death out here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Then
no.
I didn't skip anything.
No, again, they just went the usual point-and-click route of fuck context.
Well. Okay. I will cut. I just wanted to be sure.
Dearest mother, I hope this letter...
She's fed up with it too.
I have spent these past... What I am about to...
Never mind
These-
the dead sheep over there.
Which one?
The one on the right,
I
because
will
that's not a
endeavour to
rock.
explain the events that led me to Ticehurst House that night.
Pretty sure that's a rock.
As far as I can...
The absence of fade in and out kind of confused the transition between scenes.
The letter brought me to the...
It is cool to see these animations. They did such a good job with them.
Oh, yeah.
No station master in sight. I hope the village isn't too far away. I can't recall our exact meeting place. Mr. Shoulder mentioned it in his letter.
This is pretty similar to my... Like when I'm doing a lower tone, if I were to actually do an English accent convincingly. So escape is the menu, M is the map. Okay, understood. Game saved. Alright. Dear Miss... No, go ahead and write us. Read us.
Dear Miss Bateman, I write this letter in the hopes of piquing your curiosity. I read, context is important, I'm sure you realize that. I read about your expertise in barrows, and if I understand correctly, you are writing a book on them and the treasures they contain. I live in the village of Bewley, where a most special barrow can be found on the outskirts. It is rectangular in form and is certainly tall enough to stand up in. The place is steeped in local legend, and there is rumor of secrets to be found deep within.
Griffin would be a great Alfred from Batman.
I mean, among other things.
May turn out that this person's voice is nothing like this, but...
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine it's anything similar.
I hope you will not misunderstand me and find this letter intrusive. If you wish to visit Bewley and excavate the barrow, I will be pleased to be your guide. Please send your response to the Plough and Furrow Inn, Bewley. I shall await your letter. Yours respectfully, Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Turns out that Mr. Leonard Shoulder actually sounds like Mickey Mouse. Griffin, tell us a story, please.
Yeah.
Says Larks.
You're in for the night of your fucking lives, kids!
Hello. Anyway.
Dear Mrs. Bateman, marvelous news. I shall meet you at 8 o'clock in the evening on the 14th of this new month at the Plough and Furrow Inn, Bewley. The inn has fine rooms which you will find adequate for your short stay. When we meet, I shall tell you more of the circumstances surrounding the site, which is referred to locally as Hob's Barrow. It is not located on my own land, but we will have no issue gaining permission to excavate. I wish you a safe journey.
British Griffin be like, this is the BBC, the British Broadcast Corporation. You perverts.
If I tried to actually pass this as a proper English accent, I know a good number of people who would push my shit in. I'm talking to you, Alex and Tex.
Meanwhile, she is somewhat in this range for me. If I were to do it properly, if I could do an English accent.
Yeah, see, for me, it's more like waspy.
Okay. Good night, Skeeto, and thank you for dropping by. It has been good to have you on board.
Yeah, have a good one.
So this woman scooted in the midst of all of this.
I don't mind her.
I must make my way to the Plough and Furrow Inn.
That
Okay.
also sounds dirty.
Handkerchief.
A gift from my mother. It bears my initials, TB.
Tuberculosis.
TB or not TB? That is the
6
question.
shillings and 2 pence. My assistant Kenneth is bringing more funds tomorrow. I don't like travelling with too much money on me.
That's not
Anyone got a
unwise.
calculator? I don't speak E EU.
Use handkerchief with exit? Huh. Okay.
A path stretches off across the moor. The post looks unattended. Bewley, I have great expectations for this Barrow.
And define
She was
great.
not standing there a moment ago.
Woman.
Excuse me?
Yes.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Well, it used to be a thriving village. Not so much now. I don't spend much time there these days.
Are you local?
Ah, yes, a local I am. But I don't live in the village.
Where are you travelling to today?
That would be none of your business, young lady.
Fair enough.
Quite. Apologies. I'm looking for the Plough and Furrow Inn. Do you know where I can find it?
Ah, young lady. Leave the station and follow the dry stone wall for around half a mile. You'll come to Bewley. Go straight ahead and you'll find the market square. The inn is t'other side at square.
Thank you very much. I wish you a pleasant journey.
She's
Hello?
dead, isn't she?
Hello? Hello? A door of fine construction.
Well, thank
Hello?
you.
Hello? A door. Hello? Hello? A door. Hello? Bewley.
A deer, a female deer.
Bewley. I have great...
Remix! Hey, chat, remember when Sprite Remix was a thing?
Alright, well, we have one exit. The door is nice.
What brings you to Bewley?
It's none of your business.
I beg your pardon?
What brings you to Bewley, miss?
Interesting.
She looks superstitious. Jesus.
She might be,
I mean,
but yeah.
who isn't in this game? I'm gonna take a massive guess here and say most people are.
I'm gonna play this honestly and just tell the truth. I mean, honestly, the more you try to bury a secret, the more problems you end up creating for yourself. just
Especially
in
when they're
general.
dug back up.
I'm here to visit a local landmark. Hobbs Barrow.
Hobbs Barrow? Well, I can't say I've heard of it. For what reason?
I wish to excavate it.
Grave robber, are you?
Not at all. I merely have an interest in antiquities.
Not much to be found in Bewley, if you ask me. You're better off waiting for the next train back to the city.
I'll take my chances.
Can't say I didn't warn you.
Okay,
was
Bye!
that was indeed odd.
So anyway,
The
along that
tracks
dry
look
stone
quite
wall.
untarnished. I don't think many trains come through here. My mother always told me not to walk on railway tracks.
Smart woman. The green dress lady sounds like she's from up north, probably Yorkshire. Up, shop, down road.
My mother told me not to walk on the railroad tracks. She told me as she died being hit by a train.
This is again really cool.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that there's not really anything to observe here means that they literally just have this area to build tension.
You gotta build that ambiance.
I right-clicked on the crow to look at it.
For dry, red eyes.
A humble dwelling. A humble dwelling.
Part of the humble
The
bundle.
path disappears over a small rise.
What was her directions again?
The path leads further into the village.
Yeah, just follow the wall.
Yeah. I'm curious,
The
though.
old woman told me to go straight ahead to get to the inn. I'll have time to explore tomorrow.
Ah. Okay, so it's doing a little bit of hand-holding for the introduction.
The bucket has seen better days. The anvil looks Heavy. This appears to be the forge of a local blacksmith. Perhaps this belongs to a merchant.
Not for much longer.
A fine example
Not a word
of
about the
church.
bucket, chat.
It looks like it was built in the Norman style. A local dwelling. Quite an ornate construction. This was created with pride and care. The sign is in a shabby state, but the shop appears to be a cobbler's.
There's definitely going to be a murder to be solved when you go to sleep for a bit.
The building is in a dilapidated state.
Which one?
Don't worry about it.
A small plaque beside the door reads Vicarage. It's the Vicarage. A small
Very
plaque
good.
beside the door reads Vicarage. It's the Vicarage. It's the Vicarage. It's
Swiper,
the
no
vicarage.
swiping.
The Plough and Furrow Inn. The inn where I am to meet Mr. Shoulder.
Imagine walking past her and she goes into that anvil is heavy. That's an old bucket. That building is gross.
It's a hell of a stutter you got there. And you know the end is good
Plough
because it's
and
got the
Furrow.
Nintendo
I have a
quality
bit of
stamp.
time before Mr. Shoulder arrives. I should inquire about a room.
What about room? We can talk about rum
The
later.
man looks thoroughly inebriated.
Oh, there's the rum.
Hello there. What's the young lady doing out alone in this sodding weather?
What are you doing out in this weather?
What are you doing out in this weather?
Waiting for you, my dear.
I doubt that.
And I've waited long enough. So, give us a kiss now, won't you?
Look, I like how she looked into the camera.
Mm-hmm. I have no time for this. Yeah.
Man, I thought they were exaggerating about the dream face reveal, but you know?
Honestly, I'm just gonna deflect. I will slap him if necessary.
Wouldn't your wife disapprove?
My wife? Bloody hell, my wife. My tea'll be on the table at this hour, and if I don't get back, she'll be roaring. Until we meet again.
What a buffoon.
He's just drunk. Throw the anvil on him!
I should speak to the innkeeper about a room.
Oh, look, it's fucking Igor from Persona.
A rather miserable-looking fellow.
Yes?
Playing a board game by himself. I think it's Three Men's Morris.
Don't you need 3 men for that?
3 Men's Morris. Shout out to Zach. Awesome dude.
A fine exemplar of inebriation. They are engaged in an intense discussion. A pixie-faced peasant boy, painted in a naive style.
That's a fucking roast. Hey, you pixie-faced peasant boy. Jesus fucking
The
Christ.
painting depicts a rocky-edged lake. A small bronze plate states the name Lake Cubilius.
Like, that feels like something someone would call Link in
A
one of the newer
decorative
Legend of
plate.
Zelda games.
This one depicts a cat. A decorative plate depicting a serpent. A decorative plate. This one depicts a bull.
I'm sure these won't be relevant
A
later
decorative
on.
plate depicting an eagle. A decorative plate. This one depicts a dog. A decorative plate depicting a bear.
So establishing right out the gate that we need to collect the Chaos Emeralds
The
here.
last orders bell. Savior of many a life. It's a crudely painted scene that appears to be of a biblical nature.
Mm-hmm.
The innkeeper is a serious-looking man. Good day, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Note for you here.
I beg your pardon?
I said there's note for you here, lass. Be on your way.
Charming.
Oh God.
Are
Okay.
engaged in an intense discussion.
Okay, sorry. For a split second, because I see the jawline of the deer, I thought that was a smile. Just like.
A majestic animal, cut down in his prime. This painting shows a Rubenesque figure brushing her hair. Quite unusual to see such a sensual work in a room like this. A colourful work depicting a bashful knight. It is signed N. Hamley.
And so enough about the furry porn on the walls.
Hello, sir.
We are in the middle of a discussion here.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's
Hello,
on her.
miss.
What you want?
I...
Bugger off.
I'm with them, honestly.
The crackling fireplace is more welcoming than the facial expressions of the locals.
You literally just stepped in out of nowhere and started putting your nose in everyone else's
A
business.
biblical
Fuck off.
scene of some kind. An angel is depicted looking longingly to the heavens.
So that's Satan, probably.
I mean, he is an angel.
Yeah, exactly.
The innkeeper is a serious-looking man.
Be careful, I hear that there would be a picture that shows off a woman showing her ankles.
Yeah. Also, I hate that the innkeeper looks like Matt Smith with a higher hairline.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lass. How can I help you?
Well, let's get to the point, honestly.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
Aye, I know the man.
I'm to meet him here tonight.
Can I get you something to drink while you wait?
Not yet, thank you. I am in need of a room for the night.
Aye, we aren't short of those. One night, is it?
I shall need at least 2 nights, maybe more.
Aye, 'tis not a problem. 3 shilling per night. That includes your dinner and tea.
A fair price.
I'll need that payment up front for the 2 nights.
Ah. Well. I'm going to try something. I'm going to try showing him the letter.
I'm not sure they would be interested.
Okay. That's fair.
There's a time and a place for everything.
But,
I have 6 shillings and 2 pence. My assistant Kenneth is bringing more funds tomorrow. I don't like travelling with too much money on me. This is payment for the room.
Thank you. Can I ask for your name, lass?
Thomasina Bateman.
And will Mr. Bateman be staying with us tonight?
No, I am not wed. My assistant is arriving in Beaulieu tomorrow.
Your assistant, you say? Will you be needing another room?
Please.
I'll keep a room spare. It's not quite as nice as yours, I'm afraid.
Not a problem, sir. I'm sure it will be adequate. Kenneth is a man of inexpensive taste.
Here's your key.
I love how he just
Go
stared
through
at
the door
her.
to the
Yeah.
right of the bar, then up the stairs. Room number 2.
Thank you.
Can I help you with your luggage?
No, thank you, sir. I can manage.
Just instantly hearing about the assistants.
Mr. Shoulder
Aye,
arrives.
I ship it. I don't even know the lad and I ship it.
This shall do nicely.
I've seen
Time to
worse.
change into something more comfortable.
Trousers?
That's more comfortable?
With a dress? Yes.
Much better.
To do. Aha. You sound like you're from York, Griffin.
Which one?
The new
The
one or
old
the
one or
old
the
one?
new one? It was inevitable.
I love that we took opposite directions with that,
Yeah.
too. Oh my, how saucy for the 18th century.
Yeah, I never fucking understood, like, suspenders. Like,
A sturdy-looking thing.
just get a
useful
belt.
to many a weary traveller.
Well, what do you think that they had before belts?
I don't fucking know.
What the fuck do you think
It just-
they had before belts? It
just
was
seems
suspenders!
impractical. It
It-
seems uncomfortable.
It was suspenders before they had belts, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I'm no cultural anthropologist, so I couldn't tell you.
Besides which, aesthetically, it's attractive.
Is it though? I mean, to each their own.
Hey. Hey. Cares. Anyway.
The wardrobe looks old, perhaps 100 years or more in age. a jug of water for drinking or washing. An empty bowl has been provided for washing. Ah, complimentary matches. Useful.
I'm gonna take those.
Ah, complimentary matches. Useful.
You just said that, yes.
There's only one match left, though. My evening light shall be provided by this solitary candlestick. A decrepit set of drawers. Jammed shut. The wood must have warped over the years. I've stored my case in there. A box within a box. I've stored my case... A box... I've hung my dress inside. Aside from that, the wardrobe is empty.
I've stored my case. I want it. I've stored my case. I want it.
A painting of surprising quality. It portrays a rocky outcrop overlooking a vast moor. Perhaps a local landmark.
Larks walks up to the dresser. I love matches. So this will be just before indoor plumbing. Fun. Don't worry, Jon Snow would figure that out in London anyway.
A decorative plate depicting a goat.
Oh good, this is the sacrificial room.
I mean, why do you think they have it so nice?
Exactly.
No doubt the mattress is stuffed with itchy straw. I do feel tired after the trip, but my meeting with Mr. Shoulder must take priority.
I'm just gonna manually save for the heck of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't rely too much on autosaves in a game like this.
Miss Bateman, you've transformed.
I feel far more comfortable in my outdoor clothing.
You look like one of those explorers you see in the newspaper.
I guess you could call me an explorer of sorts.
I'm Stanley. Stanley Kemp.
A pleasure to meet you, Stanley.
I'm
Tell me,
unkempt.
I trust your room is adequate.
Most adequate.
Excellent.
Fuck the drawers, though.
Has Mr. Shoulder arrived yet?
Still haven't seen head nor tail of him, Miss Bateman.
What can you tell me about Mr. Shoulder?
Aye, he's a quiet fellow. He only comes here to check his post.
Yes, I've been corresponding with him using this address.
Have you now? You found yourself an admirer.
Not quite.
What business do you have with old Leonard, then?
I mean, again, I don't really have anything to hide at this point.
Well, if you must know, I am what some people call a barrow digger.
A what?
A barrow digger.
What in God's name is that?
Are you familiar with tumuli?
Afraid not.
Barrow is another word for tumulus, or tumuli in the plural. A profoundly interesting subject.
You've lost me.
I excavate ancient burial sites looking for relics. A barrow is traditionally a circular mound of raised earth enclosing a burial chamber.
Oh, aye. You're a grave robber.
I am no such thing.
Don't worry, lass. I've met all sorts in here over the years. I won't tell anyone.
I mean, he's
assure
not
you,
wrong.
my goal is more noble than petty grave robbery.
Is it
What
though?
sort of relics do you find then? Gold? Silver? Bones?
Yes.
Well, rarely gold or silver, but treasures certainly. Ancient pottery is the most common find. I've been excavating barrows all over the country. I'm documenting my findings in preparation for my book. It shall be called Vestiges of the Antiquities in Rural England.
Oh, aye. Very interesting. But what does old Leonard have to do with this?
He sent me a letter in which he told me about an unusual barrow in Bewley, a site called Hob's Barrow. I'm meeting him here this evening to find out more.
I've lived here nigh on my whole life, and I've heard nought about a Hob's Barrow.
A grave robber! Got it! She's been called that twice now.
Well, I mean, again, it's accurate.
Yeah.
But when you get down to it, anyone who works for a museum is technically a grave robber.
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Kemp.
Well, I've been the proprietor of this inn for the last 16 years. I worked as a drover all over the country in my younger days. Saved up my coin and bought this place.
It's a fine inn.
Thank you. I often run short of ale, but my rooms are rarely full. We don't get many outsiders wanting to stay overnight here in Bewley.
Did I mention I'm 2 days away from retirement?
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Aye, it's a quiet place. People keep to themselves, work hard.
I look forward to exploring the village tomorrow.
There's not a lot to see, lass. But St. Edmund's Church is a fine building, worth a visit.
So you're a grave robber then? Not a grave digger, sir. I'm an antique dealer. Well, the difference is one is a job and the other's mental sickness.
I understood that reference.
Are you sure you've never heard of Hobbs Barrow?
Not in my life, lass, but I'll tell you something. The moors stretch further than the eyes can see once you leave this village. There's no doubt many a discovery to be made.
Mr. Shoulder said the Barrow is well known locally, a place of legend.
I'm afraid you're going to have to speak to him about it. Why are you interested in digging around in the dirt, lass?
I've already...
better things to do with your time.
I enjoy nothing more than the thrill of discovery, uncovering the past and piecing together our history. I inherited this passion from my father.
Oh, a barrow digger too, eh?
Indeed. He would take me with him on excavations as a child.
Does he still come with you now, on your own adventures?
I'm afraid my father's been bedbound by illness for many years.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that, lass.
Thank you, Mr. Kemp. He is well looked after at a private hospital. Thanks for your time.
As you were.
I love how twice now this dude has seen her all alone. It's like, oh, have you a husband or
It's
a
Mr.
father to
Stanley
take
Kemp,
care of you?
the proprietor of the Plough and Furrow. He has the serious and worn-out facial expression of a man who deals with drunkards on a nightly basis.
She's saying this right out loud right in front of him.
I do have ears, lass.
I should wait here for Mr. Shoulder.
In case he needs a shoulder
day,
to
sir.
cry on.
That was a creak.
Epic gameplay.
Hello, sir.
No!
What?
I'm waiting here for a man named Leonard Shoulder. Do you know him?
I don't. Do you, love?
Never heard of him.
There you have it. Now clear off.
A curmudgeonly-looking old fellow.
With no face.
No, he's got a face.
Hello, sir.
Right,
Do you know a Mr. Leonard Shoulder?
you're not local. You've come on that bloody train, haven't you? Bewley's going to dogs.
I don't think he cares, but...
My name is Thomasina Bateman, and you are...
None of your business, lass. Where's your husband?
None of your business, sir.
Ah! You're brave coming in here, all on your own.
I'm a grown woman.
I'm Cyril.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Cyril. Do you know Mr. Shoulder?
That'd be none of your business, lass. I don't come to your city poking around asking questions, do I? Man just wants to enjoy his ale in peace.
I take it you are not enamoured with the railway station.
Bewley's gonna be swarming with outsiders, like you. We don't want you coming here. It's as simple as that, lass.
Why not?
This is our town, our land.
I assure you I am not here to cause trouble.
We'll see about that, won't we?
What can you tell me about Bewley?
We're a proud community. I've lived here my whole life. Not much here to interest folks like you.
Folks like me.
Aye.
Bye for now.
Ta-ra, lass.
Mr. Shoulder should really be here by now. I'll sit down and wait.
This is how Brexit started.
You're not even wrong.
That's literally it. This gives me big Innsmouth
Where on earth
vibes.
is he? What a waste of time this is turning out to be.
Evening there, miss.
Not you again.
I just wanted to apologize for earlier. I got home, had my tea, but it gave me an aching belly.
How so?
I felt bad for how I spoke to you. I'm sorry. The drink gets a hold of me sometimes.
Let's start again, shall we?
My name is Arthur Tillett.
Thomasina Bateman.
What brings you to Bewley, anyway?
I'm here to meet someone, but he has not arrived.
His loss, if you ask me.
Perhaps you know the gentleman, Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, I know Mr. Shoulder, all right. If I may be so bold as to say, he's a bit long in the tooth for you.
The relationship is not what you're implying. I've never met him. In fact, I know very little about him at all.
Get me an ale and I'll tell you all about the old
You
sod.
just sobered up!
I mean, look, the old fart just told us there's not much else to do in town.
Mr. Shoulder's probably right. I mean, he's fine, yep, and I love Ragnar. This gives me big Innsmouth vibes, as in we're unwanted outsiders and the locals fear their local culture.
Yeah, I will also say, though, the fact that no one has heard about this fucking gravesite that she's going on about, this leads me to believe that we're not only dealing with Innsmouthy situations here, but also a potential Berenstein situation.
Huh. The Mandela effect?
Yeah.
I really don't think you need another. I don't necessarily mean the man is a liability, but I don't think you need another.
I really don't think you need another.
Please,
No, you're already drunk.
come on. Just one more. Don't you want to hear about old Leonard Shoulder?
Well, yes.
Wet my whistle and I'll tell you everything there is to know.
You drive a hard bargain, Mr. Tillett. As you wish.
Thank you very much, Miss Bateman.
Is it going to cost me my 2 shillings?
I have only 2 pence left.
2 pence.
My assistant Kenneth is bringing more funds tomorrow, thankfully. Room 2, the Plough and Furrow Inn. There is a single match remaining inside.
Alright. It's probably going to cost me my 2 pence, but,
How can I help you?
A tankard of your finest ale, Mr. Kemp.
actually, that should be part of her room and board, huh? Maybe?
Yeah.
There we are. 2 pence, please.
Well,
Never mind.
Thank you. This was the last of my money, but Kenneth will be here tomorrow with more funds.
so we've heard. Fast forward to tomorrow. Oh my god, they killed Kenneth! You
A tankard of
bastards!
warm ale. I prefer a glass of Portuguese port wine myself. Here you are, Arthur.
Thanking you. Oh, that hits the spot, that does, lass. Now then. Old Len. Leonard Shoulder.
Arthur? Mr. Tillett? Oh, for heaven's sake. The man is in a drunken stupor. Mr. Tillett? He's not dead, just very drunk. I would still like to hear what he has to say about Mr. Shoulder. Mr. Tillett? He's not dead. I would still like... After 1 drink too many, Arthur Tillett has passed out. I can't think of anything.
How can I help you?
May
Yeah.
I trouble you for a glass of water?
If it's water you're after, I just refilled the jug in your room for you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
As you were.
And apparently, as you were thanking me twice.
This may come in handy. I don't wish to carry the bowl around with me.
But the jug you do.
Listen, she's got big pockets, which is impressive given the time period this is supposedly taking place in.
Alright, fucker.
Looking into the camera again.
Oh, what the hell were that for?
You passed out, Mr. Tillett.
Oh, sorry, lass. Where were I? Leonard's shoulder. Hold on another minute. I'm making for a piss.
This man is unbelievable.
He's English.
He's probably trying to command your attention.
Mm-hmm.
You're a pretty lady in a relatively reclusive town.
It feels like an hour has passed. Perhaps I should go in there and check on him.
There's a trail of rose petals.
Miss Bateman? My apologies. The ladies are closed due to faulty plumbing. You'll have to use the gents.
Lovely.
That's a good sign.
Mr. Tillett? These look modern. I'm surprised. These look modern. I'm surprised.
They're supposed to be toilets.
I can see it's still raining out there. A cold draft is leaking in from under the door. This leads outside. Mr. Tillett? Mr. Tillett, are you in there?
And behind door number 2.
Mr. Tillett, are you in there? Well, you're not Mr. Tillett.
Are you sure?
The water is brown, quite ghastly. It looks like the towel has not been washed in months. It looks like the towel has not been washed in months. The mirror is coated in a thick layer of grime. The mirror is coated in a thick layer of grime. Some excavations are best left to others. The mangy thing is fast asleep.
Mr. Tillett is a cat! He's Mr. Tinkles!
I mean,
I'd rather not touch
in the
it.
game like this, I
Thing
wouldn't be
stinks to high
surprised.
heaven. The door opens a crack, but appears to be blocked from the other side.
Most likely with a body.
Yeah.
I think I can hear someone moving around. Mr. Tillett? Arthur, are you out there? Judging from the draft coming from below, this door must lead outside. I should investigate further.
Steps on the cat.
Just about did.
I'm sure he's
Excuse me, sir.
Oh boy.
A single glove is lying in the mud. Sturdy-looking barrels, no doubt used to store ale.
fine. Among other things.
A warm glow permeates from within, making me feel somewhat cold and damp. The door leads into the rear of the inn. A beam of wood is propped up against the door, barring it closed from the outside. Someone has wedged the door shut. Mr. Tillett. Why would he have done that? Did Mr. Tillett leave, then block the door behind him? Something strange is going on here. Who was that old chap I saw outside the alley? He headed eastward. Maybe I could catch up with him and ask him if he saw Mr. Tillett.
This was probably Mr. Shoulder.
A pearly white gent's glove. It's certainly unlike anything Mr. Tillett was wearing. Seems rather out of place here. Peculiar.
Acquired. glove.
You know what they say. No glove, no love.
Sir? A humble local dwelling. The old man has disappeared into the darkness. I'd best turn back to the inn.
Into the night.
I don't wish to go knocking door to door. These flowers look pretty. Someone must take good care of them. The window box is well out of reach.
I would hope so.
Acquired probable evidence for a probable murder.
Yeah.
Last orders.
I should get some sleep. Finding the missing men of Bewley shall have to wait for tomorrow.
How can I help you?
Have you seen Arthur Tillett?
I thought he were with you.
He went to the lavatory and has not returned.
That sounds like Arthur Tillett. Don't worry, lass. He'll be back.
Thanks for your time.
As you were.
Alright. Just checking something.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the music too.
Yeah.
It's a good ambiance.
Pretty good.
Kenneth will be arriving tomorrow at midday. I should get some sleep.
There is no Kenneth, only Zool.
A lovely place to warm oneself. A lovely place to warm... A lovely... The inn is closing soon. And no Mr. Shoulder. I should get some sleep and find him tomorrow. The inn is closed. I should get some...
I want to use the bathroom! Okay.
You had your chance.
Ah, that Arthur Tillett. Getting murdered and disappearing into the night. That's so typical of him.
I mean...
Kenneth will be arriving.
Ah, that Arthur Tillett. Having those conjugal visits with them void monsters he
track down
is.
Mr. Shoulder tomorrow.
Miss Bateman,
No. Yes?
off to bed?
Yes. I'm afraid Mr. Shoulder's let me down.
The rotter. Perhaps he will make himself known tomorrow.
I should hope so. This is turning into a waste of my time.
Ah, don't mind the locals, miss. It's just that we don't get a lot of visitors in Bewley.
Quite.
They mean well, believe me.
Sure, Mr. Kemp.
Please, call me Stanley.
Good night, Stanley.
Sleep well, Miss Bateman.
Mr. Tillett has murdered Mr. Shoulder or the other way around.
But where's Mr. Body?
Ask Wadsworth. Don't like that! Oh, that's just a cat.
It's never just a cat.
It's not. This is what cats are.
Oh my god! He vibing, he grooving. Look at that rotoscoped ass cat.
Okay. Adventus.
Adventus time?
Oh, Lord, he coming.
Did you sleep in your boots and suspenders? Ow.
Such horrid dreams.
She's clearly a dog person. She didn't even let her hair down.
I sleep with my hair up.
Bolted from the inside, just as I left it last night. As I suspected, I must have dreamt of that wretched-looking cat. I must say I'm relieved. Right then. Let's see if I can track down the elusive Leonard Shoulder. I'm rather anxious to get to this Barrow. I also wonder what happened to Mr. Tillett.
Right then. Looks to the left.
I've hung my dress inside, aside from a fine white glove, gents style. I found it in the alleyway behind the plough and furrow. There is a single mat.
And how did the candle burn?
That candle didn't last long.
How did it burn? How did it burn? How did it get burned? There we go.
Got there in the end.
Good morning, Miss Bateman.
Good day, Stanley. I've no use for ashes.
What if I said you did?
Did you sleep well, Miss Bateman?
Telling him about the cat seems unwise. That's the invitation. That would make him more suspicious of you, I think. If you start talking about cats breaking into your room in the middle of the night.
Speaking of.
I know, he walked in right as I said that!
For those of you listening at home, Pounce literally just walked in the door as she was describing that scenario.
Oh, thank you for stopping by, Nicholas. I hope you have a good one.
Mr. Pounce.
Mr.
Off you go.
Mr. Meister. He came in for the cameo.
Ah, yes.
He sensed that we were talking about,
Yeah, I didn't know he had a Cameo account.
What if you fucking didn't? Anyway.
God, it's depressing to realize that the last vestiges of Gilbert Gottfried are probably on Cameo.
Oh my god. This is not the place.
Isn't it, though? If we're talking
From
about
her
Eldritch
point of view,
horrors,
her
then
first
who
night
else?
here, and after noticing the door being bolted from the inside, I'd choose a lie option and say, hey, sure. Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of torn. I generally try to stick by, telling the truth. I mean, mentioning the cat might at least get information on the cat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that cat supposed to be here?
Not really. I have the rather queer recollection of a cat entering my room last night.
A cat, you say?
Yes, an odd-looking grey one. I must have been dreaming, as I locked the door and windows before I went to sleep. I saw a similar cat in the lavatories while searching for Mr. Tillett.
Ah, Herbert. Oh, he's a harmless thing. He comes in now and then searching for scraps.
Indeed. Seeing him in the lavatories must have conjured up the strange dream.
The mind is capable of manifesting frightful things, Miss Bateman. I'm happy to report the rain of yesterday has lifted. It's a clear morning outside. Crisp. I've prepared
Much
a
like
room for
Mr.
your
Tillett.
assistant. What time will he be arriving today?
His train will get in around midday. Kenneth will also be bringing my excavation equipment.
Oh, aye. What does that entail?
Picks, shovels, buckets, lighting and such. He usually packs it in a large crate. Come to think of it, I'll need somewhere to store it.
You're welcome to use the alley behind the inn for any such bulky items.
Is it safe to do such a thing? Yeah?
Is it safe to do such a thing?
I can assure you the local folk are not thieves, Miss Bateman.
That's not what I...
Now, say nothing more of it.
Thank you, Stanley.
I'll let you get on with your day.
I'll be back with my assistant when he arrives.
The barman might know more than he's letting
Miss
on.
Bateman.
Yeah, that's my impression too.
Yes?
I've something I wish to get off my chest, as it were.
Removes his tie.
I've been tossing and turning all night, Miss Bateman. I feel rotten, I really do.
What on earth are you talking about?
As you know, I like to run an honest establishment. And well, I have not been honest with you, lass. I do know of Hobbs Barrow.
You do?
I do. Many here do. There are stories tied to that place, you know. If I've learned anything in this life, it's that some stones are best left unturned. Old Leonard Shoulder is someone to be wary of too. I can't tell you what to do, lass, but you'd best avoid him.
I gotta say, I wonder if the fact that I have been so upfront with him about everything had an impact on how cagey versus how honest he is.
I honestly would appreciate if there were some sort of like minor morality system in place for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why lie to me about Hobbs Barrow?
I know, lass, I know. I feel dreadful.
But why? What are these stories you speak of?
I really can't tell you more.
It might even
If
be
you
because I
insist
told
on
him about the
visiting
cat.
Place, you'll have to seek out Mr. Shoulder. He brought you here. He should be the one to tell you.
I must say, Mr. Kemp, this is all quite puzzling. I've never let local superstitions stop me in the past. I pride myself on being a woman of logic and reason. I've no time to waste on such matters.
As I say, seek out Mr. Shoulder. He can tell you more.
So I just realized that she's a logician Lorelei fusion.
A little bit, yeah. Although I do find it unfortunate that they're leaning into, like, I'm a strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
Hey. Sir. Hey.
Getting some cat ASMR here. Mr. Pants.
Give him a little snuggle. This is a not mangy cat. This is... I was gonna say a good boy. Well, he's a boy.
Yes. Rotund. Well, there's the Eldritch element we were talking about. For any of you still listening in after that, we apologize.
This has been an alert of the Lorelei shutting down system.
If your eardrums have been punctured by a recent M. Lorelei stream, you may be liable for compensation.
Okay, that noise scared me.
Happy Spookmas.
Kitty. He twitched.
Yes.
Hey. Oh, you stinky.
There's the real horror.
Hey, Stinky.
Light a candle. Actually, no, you'll explode the apartment.
You know what? At this point.
It would certainly help clean it faster.
Just burn the whole fucking thing down.
And now we're really getting into Spookmas hours. Let's see. Stillness of mind?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This video is not sponsored by, but definitely endorses. What brand of candles are these again?
They're not really a brand. I mean, they're from GM Dice.
GM Dice.
I'm scared to leave this up here because of Sir Pounce jumping up here repeatedly.
And his tendency to light himself on fire on multiple
he gives
instances.
no fucks about that.
That is no exaggeration, by the way. At least twice now, since Lore has moved here, Sir Pounce has accidentally, dragged his tail across the bare flame of her candles.
It's time to get serious. Okay.
Why must I be wary of Mr. Shoulder?
The man has a certain reputation.
For what?
You've seen it already. Were he here to meet you last night?
No.
Precisely. A man not to be trusted.
See, I'm getting the distinct impression that it might be a case of they don't like him because he's cutting, he sees through the veil, and people who see through the veil are always going to see eccentric to the locals with their traditions and everything. Does that count as a jump scare?
lore jump scare.
Where is Hobbs Barrow?
I don't know. I say that on my mother's grave, Miss Bateman.
I'll go take a
now
round to her
find that
grave
hard
then.
to believe.
The moors are vast, lass. I'd tend not to go wandering out there. A grown man could lose himself and not be seen again.
Where does Mr. Shoulder live?
I can't say for sure. As I think I told you last night, he's a quiet man and keeps to himself. He only comes in here to collect his post. Leads me to believe he lives a fair distance away. Certainly not in the village itself.
Might someone around Bewley be able to help me find him?
You could ask around. As I say, lass, Bewley folk mean well. Don't forget that.
I shall return later.
Good day to you, lass.
I mean well.
It seems I may be fighting a battle against some sort of local superstition. Is there a single barrow in England that doesn't have some ghastly tale attached to it? Hogwash. All of it.
It's...
I have a few hours until Kenneth arrives. I should use this time to find Mr. Shoulder.
It's a grave, dear.
You're a grave digger. Get used to it.
What's her fucking name again?
Hell
I know
if
it's Bateman, but...
Again, as far as I'm concerned, her first name is Strong, Independent Woman Who Don't Need No Man.
He looks like a rather shady character.
Let's go talk to him.
Hello? Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
I don't know out about no Leonard Shoulder.
My name is Thomasina.
Thomasina.
And you are?
Now then, that's none of your concern, love.
What do you do around here?
Hey up, you're not scared of sticking your neb in. I look after the churchyard. Dig the graves.
Hey, what a coincidence.
I mean...
What can you tell me about the church?
Aye, it's a church.
Quite.
You know, fair enough. That's all you really need to know. You know, again...
Tell me about Hobbs Barrow.
Now to be found digging around in those things.
You know of local barrows, then?
Don't concern yourself.
Again, I'm honestly with the villagers so far. She's the one who's meddling in.
Not much around here, love. Not worth mentioning to you, like.
I see. Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
I mean, K-tara-tara. Also, do we
I
ever
suspect
really
the barrels
check
are
the
empty.
barrels?
Otherwise, the locals would be rolling them into their cellars. I could tether a horse here if I had one. I suspect the barrel... Sturdy look. The window is well out of reach. The lavatory window. I'd rather not go into those horrible toilets again.
I mean, you're gonna have to eventually.
She could just go in the corner.
Or the barrels. Oh, God. Child.
The young woman looks extremely bored by it all. The little whelp looks determined to slaughter the very air itself. Hello?
Yes?
that piqued the woman's interest.
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Douglas?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Douglas. That's a great sword technique you have.
Thanks, miss. Mr. Crozier's gonna make me a real one when I turn 12. I'm preparing myself to fight the lantern worm.
Huh.
What is the lantern worm?
It's gonna come back and get us all. John Lambton thought he killed it at the River Ware, but my father told me it still lives. We must all be prepared.
The lantern worm isn't real, Douglas. Father just told you that to get you out of his hair.
Not true.
He doesn't have any
I
hair.
was out by the beck, like a giant eel it were. I ran home so fast I thought I would fly.
Sorry, miss. My brother has a vivid imagination.
Children
It's a
often
good
do
thing.
at his age.
I'll keep training. You will all thank me when I thrust my sword deep into its fat belly.
Douglas, this lady doesn't want to hear your nonsense.
No. Don't assume. The rich don't like children. What a shock.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually heard of a legend like this. I mean...
Do you like living in Bewley?
Yeah, I do. Are you from the city?
I'm from a long way away.
You must have come on the train.
Stop yawning! I'm already tired.
Puff up into the sky.
Have you been on the train yourself?
No, miss. Our parents don't have the money for train tickets. Father says we have all we need here in Bewley.
Perhaps this nice lady would like to take you away with her on the train.
No, I need to stay and protect Bewley from the lantern worm.
That's fair.
Do you know a man called Leonard
You're asking
Shoulder?
a child.
That's a funny name.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Have you heard of Hobbs Barrow?
What's that?
A local burial mound.
Our parents don't let us wander far from the village.
What's a burial mound?
Don't you mind about that, Douglas?
I like how the older sister here sounds like a cross between your typical, like, English woman and the older sister from the Wild Thornberries.
You know, you're not wrong. If I recall correctly, it's about a man named Lambden fighting a gigantic worm by a river, but I don't remember the details.
There's a fair number of, like, stories in England about, like, worms, but mostly W-Y-R-M-S.
Yeah, that's what it's spelled like. That's
okay,
how
yeah.
Ragnar spelled it there.
Yeah, I also don't have my glasses on, so you'll have to forgive me.
Nah, it's okay.
But,
Who's Mr. Crozier?
yeah.
He's a blacksmith. His forge is just over there on the other side of the square.
Don't you think 12 years of age is a little young for a real sword?
I'll be a master swordsman by then.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, miss.
Plus, let's be honest, he was probably conceived when their parents were 12.
Oh, hey, there's a map.
Man, old-timey selfies were shit.
The little whelp looked... The young woman... Good day.
Hello, miss.
Most legends about worms are pretty similar after all. The most famous is the one about the Siegfried and Fafnir.
Yeah, that's the
My
big
name
one.
is Thomasina. What's yours?
Betty.
Nice to meet you, Betty. What are you up to?
My brother is practicing his sword fighting technique. I'm to watch him until he tires himself out.
I'm tireless.
This time last month it were all about his teaspoon collection. This month it's swords.
I'm tireless! I love it.
Yeah.
Sorry with that single moment. I love this kid now.
Oh, yes.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I think she does know.
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
Our parents don't like us talking to strangers, miss.
So you know of it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye, miss.
That is the...
A small plaque beside the door reads Vicarage.
She fucking neumed.
That is the gate of someone who has to deal with children all day,
It's
I will
the
say.
Vicarage.
As someone who works with children for a living, I can confirm.
I don't think anyone is home. The building, the door has been boarded up. A local no one here. A local
Mood.
I don't think anyone is home.
He's a church.
Good day.
Yes?
Mr. Crozier, I presume.
Aye, George Crozier, at your service.
My name is Thomasina.
Aye, can I help you?
Are you a Bewley native, Mr. Crozier?
Aye, born and bred.
I'm sorry.
It's where my father's forge before mine.
How is business faring?
I do an honest trade. There'll always be horses needing shoes and farmers needing tools. You let me know if you need out made or mended. I'll do you a fair price.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier.
Next month, I'm going to fight the moon and the sun! That kid is gonna grow up and fight God. Hi, my name is what? My name is who? My name is Chicka Chicka Swim Shady.
That kid is gonna grow up to be the protagonist of Assure His Wrath.
Do you know a man by the name of Leonard Shoulder?
Oh, aye. Old Leonard.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not recently.
Do you know where he lives?
Why all these questions, lass?
I need to speak with him. He invited me to Bewley.
Oh, he'll turn up. I've seen him in the plough and furrow from time to time.
But do you know where he lives? I need to find him.
I believe he lives somewhere out on the moors. Can't tell you out more than that.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. Do you know of a local landmark named Hobbs Barrow?
There's a fair many barrows found out on the moors, lass. Too many to put a name to. Not a soul in Bewley pays them any mind.
If they know what's good for them.
I mean...
What can you tell me about Bewley?
We don't get many visitors here, outside of market days. But there's plenty of work for the village blacksmith. Where are you from, then?
I arrived yesterday on the train from London, by way of Derby.
Oh, aye. I've heard about London.
What have you heard?
Plenty of factories there.
Yes, indeed. The city is always changing and moving forward.
Too busy for me, though, lass. I prefer a quieter pace. Aye.
When do market days run in Bewley?
Once or twice a month. The next one is tomorrow.
How delightful.
Unless your vice is cabbages, there'll be naught to interest a young lady.
I don't mind a cabbage.
Then you're in luck.
Thanks for your time.
That is the Lorelei coming out.
Yeah! I don't mind a cabbage.
God.
This must belong to someone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the church belongs to someone.
In memory of Peter Black. In memory of William Ager. In memory of Mabel Hurst. In memory of Benjamin Garkham. In memory of Millicent Smith. In memory of George Paxton.
In memory of Mr. Tillett.
In memory of Barnaby Tillett.
Ah. You know?
I love that you called that right before that.
Again, keep in mind, neither of us have played this game.
And in the chat, in memory of Mr. Tillett. Called it.
God damn
oh,
it.
wait.
In memory of Percival Roach. In memory of Romeo Hegg, dearly missed by his beloved Juliet.
Uh-huh.
In memory of Henry Crozier. The woman has a kind face. A fine assortment of baked goods. A lovely treat for those who enjoy such things. The trusty trowel, the barrow digger's best friend. Excuse me, do you think anyone would mind if I borrowed this trowel?
You help yourself, dear. Father Roach won't mind lending it. Just be sure to put it back when you're finished.
Of course, thank you.
It is more blessed to give than to receive.
I didn't ask. Thank you, I did not ask.
Hello.
Good day. Would you like to buy one of these cakes, pet?
I have no money. Well, yes, I'd like to buy a cake. What kind of cakes do you have?
What kind of cakes do you have?
I have some lovely Bakewell puddings. The sweetest marriage of almond and jam. I can tell you're not from around here, because if you were, you would know about my Bakewell puddings. They are quite famous.
Alas, I'm not carrying any money with me.
That's unfortunate, pet. I'm sorry, I can't give them away for free. The money goes to the church, you see.
As it always
one
does.
Cannot shirk one's duty to the church.
I understand. My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Mrs. de
A pleasure to meet you, Mrs. de
Likewise, pet.
DePlancy what?
Tell me about yourself, Mrs. Duplancy.
About me? What would you possibly want to know about me? I have been attending St. Edmund's Church my whole life. I always want to help where I can, so I
Oh, what could you
sell my
possibly
baked
want to
goods,
know about me?
and all the
Continues to talk.
proceeds
Exactly.
Go to its upkeep. This place means so much to me.
Tell me about your cakes.
Your cakes look delicious.
I can assure you they are. You'll not find better in the entire county.
Well, I have no money, so the selling is great, but...
What can you tell me about St. Edmund's Church?
Isn't it the finest building? It's been standing here since the 12th century. The box pews in the nave are very fine and date back to the 17th century. The door is open if you'd like to worship.
Thank you, Mrs. Duplancy.
Looked at the voice files for this game. You're talking to the voice actress that played the Scottish Pokemon trainer.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, like she's Gloria from Masters?
Mm.
Interesting.
Do you know a local man called Leonard Shoulder?
Yes, I know Leonard. What business do you have with him?
It's a long story, but I'm trying to find where he lives.
I'm afraid I don't know, dear. Father Roach has access to the parish register. He might be able to help you.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Elsie Lovelock had a hand in this.
Elise Lovelock.
Oh.
Lovelock.
Is it Elise Lovelock?
No, it's Elsie.
Yeah, I thought it was Elsie.
But yeah,
Huh.
that sounds about right.
What can you tell me about Father Roach?
He is a lovely man and an exemplary servant of the Lord. He's been the vicar of St. Edmund's for many years.
Where can I find Father Roach?
At this time of day, he'll be taking his exercise in Herne Wood, to the west of the village.
Thank you. I'll go find him.
Be sure to listen out for his merry whistling. Such a jolly man.
Oh, that is going to be... No, that's going to be a moment. That's going to be a horror moment of hearing whistling in the distance coming
In
for
the
you.
forest, yeah.
Yeah, well, and I mean just in general when the peak of terror or horror has begun.
Yeah. See, again, I'm already getting some fucking, like... Oh, God, what's the name of that fucked up game that basically ripped off Twin Peaks?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Deadly Premonition.
That's
yeah.
it. I'm getting some Deadly Premonition vibes from this.
I'm surprised by her voice range, honestly. I'm used to her voice from her comic dubs and Has Been Hotel.
Oh, yeah, Elsie Lovelock has a major fucking range.
Whistles holla back girl.
What the bloody hell is a hollaback girl?
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
Hobbs what?
Hobbs Barrow, a local burial mound.
The only place of burial I know about and care for is in this very churchyard.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
You know, she fails to mention which lord.
This
As she
is the church tower,
looks
I
into the
presume.
camera.
The doors look weathered, but have stood the test of time.
Boop. The European spelling.
Goodness me, look at these box pews. I've never seen any as tall as that before. Most unusual architecture, even for the Normans.
Even for the normies.
Is that a necklace? Someone has left a necklace hanging here. A silver cross. Sterling by the look of it. Maybe I can reunite it with its owner.
Or maybe it was left there on purpose.
A memorial list of former vicars. They stretch back several hundred years.
Yeah, speaking of memorials, how much you want to bet that those people with their names engraved in the bricks on the side were people who knew too much? Or were willing to share too much?
Honestly, it's probably more like a list of like special thanks from the developers. At least in some of them.
Stained glass depictions of various biblical scenes. It's not my specialist area. This must be where the local vicar sacrifices the newborns. I've no time for such things.
Hi, logician.
Locked. Locked as well. I think they all might be.
Well, thankfully everyone here is so malnourished that they can't reach over.
Excuse me, Thomasina.
You're excused.
I have bow time for sacrifices.
Okay.
And of course
it's locked.
She sounds so distraught. It's locked.
It's locked.
How can be? Yeah, I'm sure you're not relevant to the plot at all, Mr. Crow.
Samuel Bryden. Death is only a shadow across the path to heaven.
Well, there goes the shadow.
Here lies Margaret Tillett, beloved mother, wife, and sister.
All
John
at once.
Purchase, dearly beloved husband of Florence. Forever in light, Anne Kemp.
So that was probably Stanley's wife.
Joseph Davis. Joseph Dave.
It's Joseph
Here lies
Day.
Elizabeth Farnaby. This appears to be a recently dug, unmarked grave.
Aha.
William Paxton, modest and gentle of heart.
Yeah, that
The path
trowel.
leads to a small hill. The
We can
path
see
leads
who's in the
across
fresh one.
moors.
She is already a grave robber.
I know. Actually, you know what? I just realized.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I may be a barrow digger, but I am no grave robber.
It's the same thing.
Well, it's not exactly the same thing.
You're a hypocrite, madam. I know you're English, so that kind of goes without saying, but even still.
I actually really appreciate her walk cycle.
She looks like the fucking, like, Soviet
leads
Dr.
on.
Livesey walk.
The path disappears
Oh, there's that whistle.
back to the outskirts of Bewley. I don't think anyone is home.
Chad Thomason, yes, absolutely.
Evil Village from Hot Fuzz. I agree.
Yeah, very much. I'm almost positive.
The unmistakable charm of old Cyril.
Yeah, I'm almost positive this is a Hot Fuzz situation.
Oh, yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
Have you ever seen that movie?
The Soviet Treasure Island?
No, Hot Fuzz.
Oh, yeah.
You have?
It was super gory as fuck, so I had to cover my eyes multiple times. But I saw it with my father years ago. Hellfire! Oh god, he's crip walking.
Very sorry. Oh, the shame. This malaise will not pass. Oh, the nausea.
I know the feeling, dude.
Your help, young lady.
Tell me what you need.
Let the blood from my arm.
Excuse me?
Cut me. I beg you.
You know, you could just put a sock on the door, my
Are you
dude.
sure this is the only way, Father?
I beg you. It's the only cure for this torturous malady.
I don't know. Penicillin is pretty good too.
I don't think it's sharp enough. The trowel's blade is dull and rusted. I need something that will provide a cleaner cut.
I'm sure he'll be fine with a bit of tetanus. I mean, there's also this shiny thing, whatever the fuck it is. Oh, it's glasses.
Ouch! The broken lens is extremely sharp.
Well,
oh, you might want to put on the glove.
Perhaps I shouldn't risk soiling this glove until I find its owner.
Jesus. Well, once again, point and clicks can't be obvious.
Ouch! The broken lens. I don't think that will help me pick up the broken glass.
Oh, handkerchief.
oh.
This handkerchief was a gift from my mother. I hope she will understand. This should work.
Cut the priest.
Are you sure you want me to do this?
Yes, it will cure me of my ills.
I shall do as you ask, Father.
Content warning, guys. Oh yeah, an extra pair.
Thank the Lord for my spare pair. God bless you.
Looney
I
Tunes
already
shit.
feel quite better.
I'm glad, Father.
The rapid healing properties of bloodletting cannot be overstated. I'm Frederick Roach, vicar of St. Edmund's Church.
My name is Thomasina Bateman. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Are you sure?
Sir, I unfortunately have raised concerns about your knowledge of modern medicine.
I have raised concerns about...
Do you believe in the 5 humors too? Or are there the 4 humors? I lost count.
Therefore...
Okay. Well, apparently the 5th one is bullshit.
Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you.
What ails you, Father Roach?
I just ate a rotten berry, that's all.
That's a
I like to pick
lie.
blackberries for my supper, you see.
That's a
They're
lie.
quite delicious, as long as you mind the bramble. My apologies again. I wish we had met in different circumstances.
You lied just now to me.
Why the fuck you lying?
Are you from Bewley originally?
I was born in our very own St. Edmunds. It's quite the story.
Do tell.
My mother was sheltering there as a frightful tempest raged. And oh, did her waters break right there and then in that pew.
One could say that you were born into your role, Father.
Indeed. When my mother told me the story as a young boy, I knew that this was my calling.
Or culling.
Father, what is your damage? Says Larks.
He was born in a church. That's the damage.
St. Edmunds is a fine building.
Thank you for saying so. It's hard work keeping her in good shape, but our congregation is always willing to lend a hand in the Lord's name.
What is it like being the vicar here?
Every day is a blessing, my child. We have a great Lord.
I was gonna say.
And the Lord looks after us.
Does he though?
What about your congregation?
Numbers
Are they willing
have
to stab you?
fallen over the years, I must say. But those that remain are faithful and full of his spirit.
Again, the more I see of this, the more I'm seeing Hot Fuzz. I'm seeing, like, Night in the Woods. Spoilers, by the way. I'm seeing fucking...
Shadow over Innsmouth.
Yes.
That vomit is still there, says Larks.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Such
It's
a lovely
quiet
shade of
town.
beige, though.
The railway line, which I presume you arrived by, is the only news of note we've had here for years.
I've heard the new station has received a mixed reaction.
I've heard many a debate, it's true. But my role is not to adjudicate on that matter. I'm very busy in my own work. you see.
Eating sour berries. Hey, if I was born into a church and ended up having to work for an invisible man, I'd be puking too.
Hello, it is I, the Vicar, here to take the one-chip challenge.
I'm looking for Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, yes? Are you a relative?
No, it's a long story, but he invited me to Bewley.
And he didn't tell you his address?
He was to meet me last night at the Plough and Furrow, but he never came.
I see. Well, let me welcome you to Bewley on his behalf.
Thank you, Father.
Do you know where he lives?
Do you know where Mr. Shoulder lives?
Let me think. It's been many moons since I've paid him a visit.
Perhaps you could allow me to take a look at the parish register.
No need. I remember it now.
Huh.
A hike across the moors.
Could you please give me directions?
I'll take you there myself. It's the least I can do after you aided me so.
Capital. Thank you.
Just let me know when you're ready to pay him a visit.
He really does not want you to see the registrar.
I, for a split second, thought she was going to call him capitalist.
Capital.
Of course, all things considered, she's all considered, which is like being considered. Except with more, yeah. But yeah, she's probably more of a capitalist than he is.
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
I can't say I've heard of it.
It's supposedly a famous local landmark.
I'm afraid I know nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is no
Thank you
Warren
for your
Bossing
time.
say.
Lord be with you.
I don't wish to look too closely. I'm not going near it. It smells disgusting.
He just looks like, oh, I worked so hard on it.
The path leads deeper into the woods. No doubt home to many a woodland creature.
Ah, Mr. Tillett, that's where you
Continues
went.
through the woods. I have no desire to go rooting about in there.
Alright, take care, Ragnar.
Shit.
Well, I say. Greetings, my dear.
Thanks, I hate it.
Sir.
A pause on your beauty, for I shall see you again soon.
Wait! Some nerve.
He pieced out.
Lady, you're blushing.
I most certainly am not.
That face!
Damn.
The men look like they've spent many a long day exposed to the harsh moorland weather.
Sorry, lass. No way through here today.
Says who?
Lord Panswick. Now get back before you find yourself under a falling tree.
My Lord Pansy can eat my boot.
My name is Thomasina Bateman.
Oh, aye? You're not from round here, Thomasina Bateman.
No, just visiting. What is your name, sir?
Horace.
Are you in charge here?
I am indeed.
Tell me, who was that arrogant man here just now?
Just someone passing by.
It sounded like you knew him better than that.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's none of your business.
What are you doing here?
What does it look like I'm doing? We're chopping down trees.
There is no need to be sarcastic.
We're employed by Lord Panswick. He's ordered us to gather logs from his woods. That's what we're doing.
These are his woods.
Aye, his lordship owns most of the land round Bewley.
Who is Lord Panswick?
Our governor.
He's the governor of the whole town.
All right, Owen, back to work now.
He lives in Bewley.
Aye, not far away. But his lordship doesn't like questions. Or visitors. Now please leave us to our work.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
No, I don't. Can you let me get back to my work now?
No.
I mean, again, the dude's just trying to make a living.
Why are you gathering logs for Lord Panswick?
By heck, you ask a lot of questions. If you must know, his lordship is repairing an old ruin on his land. We need the timber for the restoration work.
How intriguing. What type of ruin is Lord Panswick restoring?
An old chapel.
I should rather like to see it.
Not possible. His lordship does not welcome visitors to his estate.
Have you heard of a place called Hobbs Barrow?
Can't say I have.
Why she get so sensual with everything?
I was gonna say.
Have you heard of a place called
Barrow?
She's practicing her ASMR.
The men look. I'll let him get on with it.
With Hobbs Barrow? She needed a drink.
Yeah.
She needs some milk. Actually, I think he needs some milk.
I think if he had any milk, he'd lose it just as fast. So, where exactly are the moors?
They're out to the right.
Yeah, great job showing me around, Vicar.
I specifically I specifically did not ask him to show me around.
Nobody home.
But nobody came.
The path leads to...
I refuse to touch grass.
The road disappears over the horizon. I see nothing but moorland.
Oh, she's tiny down there.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to give you an option except to have it lead you.
A warehouse. This house looks pleasant.
This part of the map brought to you by the number 5.
I don't think anyone is home.
Why would you not say that at the actual house? And why would you say that at the fucking...
Because the warehouse was wearing on her nerves.
I do like the slight effect of the church.
Yeah.
The path leads to a...
Yeet.
Oh, that is a fairy ring!
I'm not sure if these are poisonous or edible. I'd better not touch them. They could be poisonous.
Yeah, that's the
This
concern.
path leads out over... The moors stretch into the distance. I don't wish to wander aimlessly.
Yeah, it's not giving you the option except with the vicar.
No, I know. I'm exploring!
A fine spot to take a rest. Margaret's Lookout. I wonder who Margaret is, or was.
A Kodak moment. Yeah, that tracks.
Oh, this sound is lovely and sad.
Yeah.
Alright, well, there's not much else that we can do at the moment.
So back to Father Bulimia over here.
Don't make fun of that.
Fair enough.
Oh.
What do you know of Lord Panswick?
Oh, yes. A rather important fellow around here. His vast land holdings give many a steady employment.
I hear he is renovating an old chapel on his land.
Aye, I've heard such reports. He believes this to be a godless land. Something I wholeheartedly disagree with. To which god his chapel will be dedicated to remains a matter of concern.
Why do you say that?
Oh, my apologies. Don't listen to my oafish conjecture. Let us move on.
I'm ready to go to Mr. Shoulder's house.
Excellent. I feel the fresh air will do me well. Follow me.
You're already in the fresh... Never mind. I led that as Lord Psyduck.
Dun 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 dun.
Good morning, Father.
Good morning, Mrs. Duplancy. Mrs. Duplancy, this is Thomasina Bateman, a visitor to our parish.
We've already had the pleasure of meeting, Father.
Excellent. Miss Bateman, don't hesitate to try one of Mrs. Duplancy's wonderful cakes.
Yes, I've heard about her famous Bakewell puddings.
And have the
I'll be
Kool-Aid
here all
while you're
day,
at it.
young lady. But remember, once they're gone, they're gone.
I have
Those little
no
whelps
money.
have already gobbled up all the gingerbread.
You are doing God's work, Mrs. Duplancy.
He smiles upon us, Father.
Miss Bateman, if you'd like to follow me.
We stopped because of you. Don't eat cake.
Let's talk of graves, of worms, and epitaphs.
That's not what I'm here for.
Paper, and with rainy eyes, write sorrow on the bosom of the earth.
Sir.
Let's choose executors and talk of wills.
Sir.
The time has come, the walrus said.
Right. Which play?
Pretty sure that would be Richard II.
Richard II?
Correct. You are well read, Miss Bateman. Studying the work of the bard is one of my favorite pastimes.
See, that's not one that I've read, but I've read the other two.
Follow me.
So, and that's not in any of those, so.
I see. His wife, I'm guessing.
Behold, the vast expanse of God's creation.
Sorry, the background
The walls
music.
extend as far
Looks a
as
bit
the
shit.
mortal eye can see.
Shut.
Beautiful, is it not?
I do think that they're beautiful. I'll say that much. Like, I find this to be, like, it's peaceful.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty. And just to remind you, we're totally not evil.
Indeed.
Are we the baddies?
The moors are beautiful.
The beauty of God's creation is that it takes so many forms. How can one take in such a view and not have faith? Some look at these moors and think this a godless land. But I tell you, he is found in all domains. The Lord's work is all about us. Tell me, Miss Bateman, do you believe in God?
Yeah, I knew this was coming.
He seems prepared to hear the truth. Here's the difficult thing. Again, I tend to default towards telling the truth. I do not trust Father Roche in the slightest.
Yeah.
I feel like telling him, no, I don't believe in God, is going to just invite the cult to descend upon Thomasina.
I mean, they're already gathering their torches and pitchforks at this point as well.
Yeah, but let's not give them...
A reason?
Nah, let's just fucking tell the truth. If there are consequences, we'll deal with it.
Yeah, you did also save previously, so...
I was brought up Anglican. The church was an important part of my early life, Father Roach. But what happened to my father eventually made me question things.
If you don't mind me asking, my child, what happened to your father?
He had an accident when I was very young.
Come along now, Thomasina. Let's get out of the rain.
And her dad can work that dress.
Remember what I told you, all right? Be a good girl. People are unwell here. They don't want to hear you running about making noise. Understood?
Yes, Mother.
Good. And don't annoy the nurses.
I promise I won't.
Good. Now, let's see your father.
She looks pregnant. Yeah, she's pregnant.
Mummy is crying.
Imagine standing in this fucking room and just like turning towards her and going, Mummy is crying.
Are you my mummy?
Mummy? Mummy? Daddy is sleeping.
Why are they burying Daddy?
Daddy, wake up!
Good evening, Mr. Bateman. Hello, little one. You must be Thomasina?
Yes.
My name is Nurse Blaketon. I just need to talk to your mummy for a little bit. I'm sorry to disturb you, Mrs. Bateman. Mrs. Bateman?
Will he ever talk again, Nurse Blaketon?
The doctor is uncertain, Mrs. Bateman. There is the possibility that Mr. Bateman won't regain any movement at all. But we will do our utmost to look after Mr. Bateman here at Ticehurst Manor. He will have a nurse by his side at all times, I can assure you.
Ignore the fact that I look like a skeleton.
What sort of god would allow this fate to befall such a kind and honest man?
I'm sorry to hear this.
That's a just world
God
fallacy
moves in
right there.
mysterious ways, but he loves us all. Come along now.
See, that's not an argument for atheism. That's just, again, a just world fallacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
She scampered off in a hurry? Who was that?
Some primitive folk make their home out on the moors.
Uh-huh.
I suggest you keep your wits about you when you are exploring, and don't stray too far from Bewley.
I see. How much farther to Mr. Shoulder's house?
Still quite a walk, I'm afraid. But we'll get to him soon enough. Now then, take a look at this.
It is sad, guys. I agree.
Legend has it that this cairn has stood here for over 1,000 years.
How remarkable.
The Devil's Toe.
How
I beg your
remarkable.
pardon?
That's what it's called. The Devil's Toe.
Oh, I see.
Come now, onward.
Sorry, I thought you were making a drink recommendation.
What a convenient place to dispose of a body.
We walked and walked across that vast, featureless landscape. All the while, Father Roach was whistling away merrily. Just as I had begun to wonder if we were hopelessly lost, a building emerged from the mist, Mr. Shoulder's cottage.
I've seen worse.
Here we are, Miss Bateman. Unless my memory fails me completely, this is Mr. Leonard Shoulder's house.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
Now, no need to thank me after your providential assistance today. However, I have something to ask you.
Yes?
Please don't tell Mrs. Duplancy about my little scene in the woods. She will only fret. The poor dear woman has enough on her mind as it is.
I shan't mention it.
Thank you. You'd better see if Mr. Shoulder is in.
A sweet little hen, plump and well-groomed.
Funny, that's what I would have said about you.
Here, chuk chuk chuk.
Don't encourage them.
Like, their clucking is a conscious choice, I'm sure.
He looks much too unruly to be picked up. A fearsome-looking beast. A sweet little hen.
Oh, okay, I see the fucking stigma here.
Care to hold one, Father Roach?
put that thing down, would you?
You're no fun.
This is so Lorelai.
Yeah. She walks up to the fucking chicken.
You're my friend now. We're having soft tacos later.
A woolen undergarment.
Ah, the glove.
That glove looks familiar.
Hello, Sir Pounce.
I wonder if it matches the glove I found behind the plough and furrow.
Sir. First of all.
Is he real stink boy hours?
Sir. Sir. Hey. Hey. Sir. Sir. Slap, 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 slap.
This is the quality entertainment you folks signed up for, right?
Block, block, block.
Don't encourage them.
Hey. Sir. Hey. This is the perfect backdrop for cat purring.
Ah, yes.
I'm holding his face back. Hey. Hey. You fallen croissant. My sweet boy.
Pillsbury dough ball.
No, come on. Come on. Oh, sweetheart. I love you.
Mr. Stinky.
Here, chuk, chuk, chuk. Alright.
Come on, big boy.
Yeah. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Let's get back to it.
So shall we see if the glove matches?
That glove looks familiar. I wonder if it matches. The gloves are a pair. Does this mean Mr. Shoulder was in the alley last night? Why didn't he come inside to see me?
That is a good-ass question, isn't it? Oh. Just chicken holding.
Yes.
A carved stone has been affixed to the door. I think it depicts a crescent moon. Father, what do you make of this?
A peculiar adornment. I've not seen any like this in Bewley, though it does remind me of a passage by the bard himself. It is the very era of the moon. She comes nearer earth than she was wont, and makes men mad.
This one I don't know.
Well, there's an easy way to find out.
I'd rather be honest with it. Wasn't there a play like that at the bar? There wasn't. I don't know.
Othello?
Precisely, Miss Bateman.
Ah.
Your knowledge of the bard is presently flawless.
I consider myself to be well-read, Father Roach.
It's delightful to meet a fellow bookworm, I must say.
Anyway.
Mr. Shoulder? Is Thomasina Bateman here? I'm here in Bewley as discussed.
Maybe try again. His hearing probably isn't the best at his age.
Mr. Shoulder, are you home?
He fell asleep.
It appears Mr. Shoulder is not at home. Curses.
Perhaps you could try the handle?
Just break in?
It's locked. A carved stone has been... I think it depicts... It's bolted onto the door itself. I can't remove it.
Remind me, don't you have a key?
To my room.
Oh, okay.
That is not coming off. I do not wish to harass the rooster.
Well, that makes one of us.
I mean...
Mr. Shoulder has stacked blocks of wood neatly beneath this small lean-to.
Very neat and tidy.
I've no desire to lug a block of wood about the countryside. Mr. Shoulder must have dropped the matching glove last night. What was he doing in the alley? Rather rude of him not to come inside and see me.
Why did she say it like that?
Harris? Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, that is the English pronunciation. You guys coming with me?
Look at American Gothic over here.
I love that you can just pick up the fucking chickens.
Yes. A little Zelda sound.
Well, there was a lot of things to discuss here.
What else do you know about Mr. Shoulder?
A reclusive man. I must say I know very little about him.
Does he attend services at St. Edmund's?
Not regularly, if at all these days.
Perhaps he feels closer to God out here on the moors. What do you make of Mr. Shoulder's residence?
A sturdy construction, I'm in no doubt. The winds blow a gale out here, not to mention the pelting rain.
At least he must have plenty of eggs to eat.
Awful creatures, those hens.
Why don't you like hens, Father?
I know I must love all of God's creatures, but they make such an unholy ruckus, and their talons claw at my boots.
But they mean no harm, and they provide eggs.
I cannot abide hens' eggs. They smell of sulfur when rotten.
Yeah, that's why you eat them before they're rotten, dumb fuck.
Well, clearly he prefers rotten berries.
Do you know that young girl we saw?
No, but I've seen her sneaking around the churchyard. The poor thing is feral. She takes off at the slightest stirring. We will bring the Lord to her. Good time.
Perhaps she has her own beliefs. You said there were others like her.
Primitive folk, yes. Avoid the moors in hours of darkness and don't wander too far. I wouldn't entrust a young woman in their company.
What more can you tell me of these primitive folk?
Godless people, Miss Bateman. Don't concern yourself with them. They live out there on the very edges of this land. If you don't wander too far, you shouldn't cross their path.
Do you know anything else about the Devil's Toe?
Not really. I do recall it toppling over when I was a child. A few lads from Bewley rebuilt it to the best of their memories.
The devil mustn't have been happy.
Excuse me?
Now, my child, do not joke about such matters.
I actually want to check something real quick.
Okay.
I think... Well, I've got voicemail and I can check it later. But let's finish up this conversation and then we might actually call it. I mean, this is very early in the game. I know that this is one of those, it's gotta build up to something. I have no doubt that it will. It's all of the hallmarks of a good classic horror story.
What is your favorite of Shakespeare's works?
A very difficult question, Miss Bateman. But one I can answer, nonetheless. I am awfully fond of Cymbeline.
An unusual choice.
All gold and silver rather turn to dirt. Wouldn't you agree?
A fine quote. You mentioned that Mrs. Duplancy is worried about something at the moment.
It is not my place to say. Mrs. Duplancy will tell you in good time, if she deems it fit to do so.
Is there a Mrs. Shoulder?
No. I believe Mr. Shoulder has led a life of celibacy.
Oh god, it's an incel.
Lord be with you.
I found this necklace inside the church. Do you know who it belongs to?
Many in our congregation wear such things. I'll announce it at the next service.
Do you mind if I keep hold of it until then?
Not at all.
I'm not sure they would be interested.
Okay.
I have nothing else. I've only just got...
Well, what am I supposed to do?
No sign of life?
None. The window is nice and clean. The dwelling is by no means abandoned.
Perhaps he's gone for a stroll.
Possibly.
I'd suggest you call back later, my child. I myself must make my way back home. I have some matters to attend to with the church. Shall I accompany you back to Bewley?
I'm gonna try looking around a little bit more, especially without a babysitter.
No, you go ahead, Father. Thank you.
As you wish. Farewell, Miss Bateman. I hope Mr. Shoulder finds his way to you.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
My pleasure. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Romeo and Juliet?
Correct. That I shall say good night till it be morrow.
That one I'm more
Proving
familiar
yourself
with.
to be an impeccable scholar of the bard, my child. Lord be with you.
Well, Mr. Shoulder, you've brought me to Bewley, and now you're nowhere to be found. No sign of any movement. I can't see how that will help me. I don't wish to beat my way in. I've no slightly damp.
It was in the rain.
The trousers feel damp. Freshly hung, or still wet from last night's rain?
Yes.
The window is much too high up to reach. You're a sweet little thing, aren't you? You're a sweet little thing, aren't you? He looks much too unruly to be picked up.
Sexist.
Is there anything that I can do here?
I can't imagine so at this point.
I've come a long way to meet you, Mr. Shoulder. Please open the door. Mr. Shoulder continues to prove himself elusive. No sign of any movement.
Well.
Yeah.
You good there, Rooster?
Even the rooster's
As I trudged
like, fuck
back to
this.
Bewley across those cold moors, I made a new resolution. I would find Hobbs Barrow myself, with or without Mr. Shoulder. The train! That must be Kenneth. I should go and meet him at the station.
Come on!
Hello. Good day.
Father Roach asked me not to discuss that with Mrs. de Plancy.
This is a conundrum. Because I'm curious to know. We already know he's been lying to us.
Father Roach seems rather under the weather, don't you think?
Father Roach? The man is as fit as a lad half his age. What makes you say that?
I found him in the woods in a state of considerable distress.
Oh my! This is very worrying. I must check on him later. I had no idea.
What do you know about Lord Panswick?
Wretched man. They say he is restoring a chapel near his manor. But for whom and to what god, I ask?
Is he a man of faith?
I've barely seen him set foot in St. Edmunds. It doesn't stop him from acting as our God-given ruler. Stay away from him, pet. Don't get yourself tangled up in local affairs.
I certainly don't intend to. Are you sure you don't know where Hobbs Barrow is?
Hobbs what?
Never mind. Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
Well, we may have just pissed him off.
Yeah. Then again, you also saved right. It auto-saved right before, so.
So let's see what happens. It isn't my business to actually check in on him. But I'm just curious to see what happens.
Hello.
Good day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
What do you
wreck this, but is he? I've stone eye.
Thank you for your
Lord.
Thank you for your Lord.
Good day.
Yes?
What can you tell me of Lord Panswick?
His lordship commands much respect around here, lass. Keeps me busy with work. Why do you ask?
Just curious. Thanks for your time.
Aye.
Father Roach is very sus and is not to be trusted.
I mean, he's a priest, so that goes without saying.
I wouldn't want to alert him with her checking in on him, you know?
Oh god, look who it is.
Where is Kenneth? He was supposed to wait for me at the station.
Yeah.
Well, that's one mystery solved. It's Arthur Tillett. What's he doing in there? Mr. Tillett, where did you go last night?
Have we met?
Last night at the Plough and Furrow.
Oh, Miss Bateman. I were blind drunk last night and woke up with a stinking headache.
You still smell like a brewery.
Sorry.
You went to use the lavatory and never came back, Mr. Tillett. I searched everywhere for you.
I think I remember you bought me a drink. Then it's all a blur. I woke up in my bed this morning with my wife sour at me for waking her at some ungodly hour.
Well, there's a lot to ask, yeah. It's Mr. Tankles!
About last night. What were you going to tell me about Leonard Shoulder?
Who?
Leonard Shoulder. You told me you knew him. And promised to tell me more if I bought you a drink. Which I did. So what were you going to tell me?
I don't really know the old bugger.
But you said you did.
Oh, aye. No, I know naught about him. No, naught about Leonard Shoulder.
Uh-huh. He's definitely hiding something.
You're hiding something, Mr. Tillett.
I mean, there
I
you
don't
go.
believe you.
I say a lot of things when I've got the drink in me. I probably just wanted you to buy me an ale.
A likely story.
Look, what would I gain from lying to you?
Another day
I just
alive?
wanted another drink.
Even if that's the case, it doesn't explain your disappearance.
I don't remember out.
I found Mr. Shoulder's house, but he wasn't home.
Don't worry, you'll find him.
How do you fucking know?
About last night. You really don't remember where you went last night?
As I say, it's all a blur. I remember needing a piss. Then nothing. Well, you must have missed me when I came out.
I did not. I even went to the gents' toilets to find you.
Oh, aye. A sight for sore eyes.
It was. I checked everywhere, and you were nowhere to be found. The back door leading to the alleyway was blocked from the outside.
Oh, aye?
Yes. You must have exited through that door, Mr. Tillett.
But you just said it were blocked.
There must be an explanation.
My mind has drawn a blank.
Why was the door blocked? Did you block it?
I told you I don't remember. I've naught to say because I remember naught.
How's your headache faring?
It feels like a steam engine is driving full pelt in a circle around me skull.
Be sure to drink plenty of water, Mr. Tillett.
Aye. I'll survive.
So, you work here?
Aye. Bewley's station master at your service.
That's concerning.
Would you like to buy a ticket?
Not just yet, thank you. I understand that some of the locals are not too happy about this new station.
Aye. I'd go as far as saying the whole village.
How long has the station been open for?
About 3 months. We're on the Midland Railway line. This employment's been a saviour for me. If I weren't stood here, I'd be drinking my life away at the pub right now. It's worth the occasional withering look from Cyril and the rest of them.
What does a station master do?
A bit of this and a bit of that. I don't wish to bore you with such things.
As you wish.
My responsibilities here keep me on the straight and narrow, I'll tell you that much.
Clearly,
Sense of
it's
duty
doing
can
a
do
great job.
wonders for a lost soul.
Indeed. This must be a rather lonesome post to occupy.
Trains pass through here more regularly than you might think, lass.
What can you tell me about Lord Panswick?
Oh, you've heard of his lordship, then?
Yes. Do you know him?
Aye. He comes into the village from time to time, gives sweets to the children, hires young men to work his land. He's well liked around here.
He's not,
I sense
though.
some hesitation, Mr. Tillett.
Well, we kind of have an unspoken agreement with his lordship. He looks after us, provided we leave him alone.
I don't follow.
He likes his privacy.
Some people do.
No one is allowed to visit him.
Do you mean to say that he's a bit eccentric?
No. I've heard people got fired at when approaching his manor uninvited.
Good grief. But is this true?
Well, I won't be the one to find
He's a
out.
Texan!
I mean...
I'm looking for Hobbs Barrow.
Hobbs Barrow.
It's why Leonard Shoulder invited me to Bewley. He thought I might like to excavate it.
Oh, aye. I heard about a Hobbs Barrow somewhere out there. There's some old stories around it.
What stories?
I can't remember.
Mr. Tillett, please. This is important.
I'm awfully sorry, Miss Bateman.
Do you
I'll
remember?
try to remember. If he invited you here, then I'm sure Mr. Shoulder will tell you all about it.
I can't
That's
remember.
if I ever get to meet him.
I'm sure you will.
Alright, well.
I'm looking for my assistant, Kenneth.
Oh, aye.
His train has arrived.
Not a single soul disembarked the last train, Miss Bateman.
Impossible. Was that not the midday train from London by way of Derby?
Aye, it were. Mr. Price were here, unloaded a few crates.
But no Kenneth.
Mr.
Not a
Price?
soul. Hold on. One of them crates had your name on it, Miss Bateman. A great big one it were, with...
A red ribbon.
Aye.
What is Kenneth playing at, sending my equipment but not himself? Curses. Where is my crate now?
Mr. Price took away all the crate on his cart.
Who?
Mr. Price, he's the postmaster.
Where can I find Mr. Price?
He lives above the storeroom, just north of the plough and furrow. You'll see it. There's a Royal Mail plaque on the wall.
Thank you. Where can I find...
He lives above... You'll see.
Thank you. Farewell for now.
Ta-ra.
Well.
Hey, look who it is. Once again, I have the distinct impression these two animals are very important to the plot.
Yeah. I think the cat might be a protector.
Good day to you, Cyril.
How do, lass?
He's a little friendlier.
What are you up to, Cyril?
Keeping an eye on that bleeding railway station. That's what. Thankfully, no one got off the last train.
Really hate that station, don't you?
Oh, I curse Midland Railway for bringing their damn line through Bewley. This is our town, our land. 'Tis no place for outsiders.
So you keep saying.
Anyway, no more trains today. Almost time to celebrate with an ale, I think.
I could do with one myself.
You paying?
No. I found Mr. Shoulder's house today, but he wasn't home.
Why the bleeding hell should I care, lass?
Goodbye.
Ta-ra, lass.
He's got this weird mix of begrudgingly accepting that you're in town and also hating you.
Yeah. I mean, that is the gate of most racists.
I don't think anyone is home.
Oh, I know where he is. There he
That
is.
must be the postmaster's storeroom.
If this is Mr. Price, the fact that he's blonde.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hello.
Good day. I haven't seen you in Bewley before.
I'm just visiting.
Lovely. It's nice to see a new face. We don't get many visitors. My name's Henry. Henry Long.
Nice to meet you, Henry. Thomasina Bateman.
Wonderful. What a treat.
Alright, calm down.
You seem in a good mood, Mr. Long.
It's just lovely to see a new face. Where are you from, Miss Bateman?
Where I'm from doesn't really matter, does it?
I wouldn't say so, not unless they're planning an invasion of London.
Originally, a small town on the outskirts of Derby, Mr. Long. Though I currently reside in London.
London? I've never met anyone from London. How very exciting. Have you lived there a long time?
It's been quite a few years now, yes.
I've heard that the air there is so heavy with smoke, it makes it hard to breathe. Is that true?
Some days.
Oh, you must miss the fresh northern air. Well, you've got that in Bewley. No factories out here. Such things are a blight on his creation. I were born in this very home I stand in front of. Bewley is in my blood.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Why would I ever want to leave? Especially now I can meet new folk thanks to the railway line.
I worry.
Come play with us forever and ever and ever.
I'm looking for Mr. Price, the postmaster.
Oh, Mr. Price, my lovely neighbour. I'm afraid you've just missed him.
Curses.
I saw him wheeling a large crate into his storeroom just there.
It must be mine. I really need it.
Have a look through the window to see if it's yours.
Where did Mr. Price go?
I don't know. The man were in a hurry. I know he has family in Bakewell.
That's miles away. Did he leave by foot?
No, by horse. He must be a few miles down the road by
By
now.
horse?
Curses. When will Mr. Price be back?
He didn't say. Could be tonight, could be a few days.
How infuriating.
I told him I'd keep watch of his storeroom. and I'm a man of my word, Miss Bateman. I shall not budge from this spot.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
Aye, funny old fellow. I hear he lives way out on the moors somewhere.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not for a long while now that you mention it. Why do you ask?
It's a long story, but I was to meet him in Bewley. He invited me here.
Well, I must thank him when I see him for inviting such an enchanting young woman.
You flatter me, Mr. Long.
I'm pretty sure that's the point.
I'm looking for Hobbs Barrow.
One of those old burial hills.
Yes. Do you know where it is?
Believe it or not, I haven't set foot on the moor since I were a child.
Why is that?
I've got all I need right here in Bewley.
Mm-hmm.
We're all truly blessed with the railway
I love how
station,
we're both
which
leaning away
brings
from
us
the mic
lovely
now.
new faces.
I mean, to be fair, the closer we get to the mic, the closer we get to him.
And the closer we get to God.
Exactly.
Your opinion of the railway station differs widely from your fellow townsfolk, Mr. Long. I've not met anyone particularly keen on it.
That railway line is the start of a new era for Bewley. Mark my words. There's much to protect here, but we need new blood.
Don't like that
I hope
wording.
Some of you visitors will actually stay here permanently.
Why is that?
So I have new friends to talk to. Some people here don't want any new friends. Cyril Farnaby, the miserable old sod, is the worst offender.
Yeah, no, I mean,
again,
obvious. We need new blood around here. Yeah, the old blood isn't looking so hot if I were to judge by fucking Father Wes's name.
Well, yeah, I mean, a few generations of incestuous pertaining to purity will do that.
Ever since the hounds started attacking the things in the moors, we haven't been there.
Yeah.
Oh god, he's a Dracula. He might be.
I've had the pleasure of meeting Cyril. He really dislikes the railway station.
Absolutely miserable he is. I've tried to convince him many times that the station will help Bewley. He just doesn't understand.
I met him last night in the Plough and Furrow.
Aye, the scene of our many debates. Blimey. I could go for an ale right now, actually.
Can I buy you a drink?
Really?
No, you can't.
Wait, do you think Mr. Kemp will let me open a tab?
Perhaps. You could always ask him. I shouldn't leave anyway. Mr. Price is relying on me to keep watch of his storeroom.
Goodbye.
Don't be
He looks a little chirpier than your average Bewley resident.
Yep, that looks
There's
like
my
it.
crate. Kenneth always ties a red ribbon to it. I can see an envelope tucked behind the ribbon. Perhaps it can help explain Kenneth's absence. I'm going to have to get in there. There's nothing else I wish to discuss at the moment.
Except getting in there.
The postmaster isn't home.
But my crate is in there.
You'll have to wait for Mr. Price to get back.
God, it's like dealing with UPS.
Royal Mail, Postmaster's Residence. This must be the local post office.
Such as it is.
I have nothing else.
At this point, no, you do have nothing else.
I have nothing else. Alright, guys.
On that delightful note.
Honestly, here's the thing. I would actually like to keep going, but I got a weird amount of sleep, because yesterday I slept for like 13 hours, and then last night I slept for like 5?
And
which is not the worst, but...
And I'm still feeling sleepy despite getting 10 hours. Once again, anti-nausea medication hits different.
It really does. That all said, this is interesting. I'm going to be keeping up with this, and I'm interested enough, and I've been looking for excuses to stream more often, so I don't know exactly when I'm going to be next getting back to this game, but I want a tentative... Well, I can't really say tomorrow. Tomorrow wouldn't be good.
Hi, Pats.
We'll see about Thursday. Oh, you bastard. Nope, he's... fresh pissy boy.
Oh. Well.
Well, more excuse.
More of a reason for us to call it here, I guess. Clean up on aisle 3.
Yep. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me on this interesting peek into this game. I'm gonna keep at it. I hope you guys keep coming back for this shit. But, I hope you have a good one.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.